Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of the book reviews that I will be uploading and everything book related that I do. The title of this book is Time Did Tell, and the author's name is Nikita Yatrera. If I murdered that, I apologize. This was my first time reading a book by this author, so I didn't know what to expect, but I did thoroughly enjoy the book. I will say that the main characters were definitely interesting. Kayla and Brittney, they are two girls and they are in high school. They are pretty much best friends. And I felt absolutely horrible for Kayla because Kayla's mother is the principal. So I can only imagine how draining and exhausting that is in high school, having your mom as the principal, being able to see everything that you're doing. She's able to look up if you're in class, being able to look up, if you were on time to class. And honestly, her mom to me came off as so overbearing that at first I absolutely hated her mom, because I think there's a very thin line between I'm being overprotective and trying to make sure that my child doesn't make the same mistakes I did. And then there's the side of it that I felt like Kayla's mom was on. And I just felt like sometimes she was a little, I'm not going to say too involved, but it just felt like sometimes she was just so hard on her and she was so strict when it came to where Kayla could go and what Kayla could do that I honestly was shocked that Kayla did not become this extremely sneaky child. I was really shocked. Brittney, on the other hand, has a completely different experience at home. Her parents are married also. They are together. But her parents travel the world pretty much working, and they really don't spend that much time with Brittney. So Brittney has a boyfriend, and her boyfriend's name is Sean. And it seems like they've been together for a little while, it seems like. But they're two teenagers, and having a house to themselves, they tend to do what hormonal teenagers do when they're unsupervised for a while. So not as like a spoiler necessarily, but at the very beginning of the book, you do find out that Brittney is pregnant. And Brittney is very involved in church because she feels like that's more so her family than her actual family. And she spends more time with them than she gets to spend with her actual family. So it's just, you're already seeing basically that she's going to experience some kind of, I don't know, kind of some moral issues when it comes to, should I still go to church and preach about this purity stuff and all this other stuff when she knows that she's pregnant by her boyfriend Sean. And it seemed to me like Kayla was a little bit more concerned too about like, how are you going to stand before all these people and preach about like abstinence and girl, you pregnant. So I liked it. Now, what I was amazed by was how good Kayla was at, I think it was painting or drawing that she did. I know I'm going to mess it up. But the point is, Kayla won this competition that her teacher secretly entered her into. Her mother's reaction to her winning this competition and having to travel pretty much across the country to where this guy was. So she lets her mom know that they actually have to go to San Diego. And Kayla's very excited about it because her mom is from San Diego. Her grandmother lives in San Diego. And whenever it seems like Kayla tends to bring it up to her mom about wanting to travel and wanting to go see her family in San Diego, her mom just always changed the subject. So when she tried to bring it to her mom didn't necessarily say yes or no. Her mom more so said, I'll think about it. But I also I understand that her mom did get some kind of pretty bad news, pretty heartbreaking news right before Kayla came to tell her. I think her mom could have showed a little bit more excitement initially as well as throughout the process. I think that her mom was kind of so just caught up in trying to prevent Kayla from doing what teenagers kind of tend to do and making her own mistakes that I feel like it kind of took away from their own relationship. I also found it interesting how Kayla had to somewhat go through her mom's old diary at one point just to get a better idea of who her mom was, because it's like they're living in a house together, but Kayla feels like she really has no clue about her mom's past, or what's going on. So I do think Kayla could have went about it a different way, instead of snooping through her mom's old diary. But at the same time, I don't think you always think things all the way through when you're in high school, so it is what it is. So, overall, this book will definitely have some twists and turns to it. I did feel like both of the characters were relatable as well. I didn't feel like the storyline or the plot of the book was far-fetched at all. I felt like it was very realistic for teenagers that are in high school or people that are just now entering into college. So I like that it wasn't one of those outlandish stories. I also liked that the book did say that, you know, there was someone that was in the competition from Memphis and someone from Ohio. So they do live in Ohio, but I just thought it was interesting too how like the teacher just how she pretty much entered all of her students in this competition. I felt like that alone, like, to me, I think it's beautiful how like teachers, I believe, are so underpaid, but how they oftentimes see talents and gifts in students and in our kids that sometimes we don't have time to see or we just don't see it. So I just found it amazing the way that this teacher believed in her students and pretty much really allowed Kayla to have the opportunity to be able to travel and be able to go see this man, this pop star Ben that she was so excited about, that pretty much like was at the top of the charts at the time. So you will be able to find this book on Amazon. I will put all of the information down below in the description to be able to get you connected with the author, with the book. If I had to rate this book out of 5 stars, I would definitely say this is a 4.7. I enjoyed the book. I felt like it was thoroughly edited as well, which is very important to me because some books I have read, it just is a little challenging at times. So I highly appreciate and shout out to whoever edited this book for this author. So again, if you have not already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back to you soon with more book reviews.